The average American car payment just hit $742 a month. That is nearly $9,000 a year, spent on a machine that loses 40% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. And here is the part that should terrify you. 40% of drivers are now spending a fifth of their entire income just to keep that car in the driveway. This is not a transportation problem. This is a psychological trap, and it has a name. Before you click away, I need you to understand something. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. But what I am about to explain could save you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Behavioral economists call it an arrival signal. It is any visible purchase that tells the world, I have made it. The luxury watch, the designer suit, the car you cannot actually afford. These are not purchases. They are announcements. And the cruel irony is this. The people who send the loudest arrival signals are almost never the ones who have actually arrived. In 1996, researcher Thomas Stanley spent 20 years studying millionaires across America. What he found destroyed everything we thought we knew about the wealthy. The book was called The Millionaire Next Door, and its central finding was this. Most millionaires do not look like millionaires. They drove used cars. They lived in unremarkable neighborhoods. They wore off-the-rack clothing. Stanley called them prodigious accumulators of wealth, peos. And then there was the other group, the ones who earned just as much but had almost nothing to show for it in actual net worth. He called them under-accumulators of wealth, UAWs. The difference was not income, it was behavior. For every luxury item a millionaire purchased, Stanley found 8 non-millionaires buying the same thing. Read that again. 8 people who could not afford it, for every 1 person who could. The arrival signal was not proof of wealth, it was proof of its absence. And then there is Warren Buffett. The man has been one of the 5 wealthiest humans on the planet for decades. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,000. He caps his breakfast at $3.17. He once tried to pay for dinner with coupons while sitting next to Bill Gates. This is not stinginess. This is a man who understood something most people never will. Every dollar you spend telling the world you are wealthy is a dollar that is no longer building actual wealth. Here is where it gets dangerous. American credit card debt just crossed $1.14 trillion. That is trillion with a T. And credit card interest rates have climbed past 20% for the first time in recorded history. Think about what that means. When someone finances an arrival signal, a watch, a handbag, a car they stretched for, they are not just losing the purchase price. They are paying 20% annually for the privilege of looking wealthy. That is compounding in reverse. That is your future self being robbed by your present ego. Morgan Housel put it perfectly in The Psychology of Money. He said, you might think you want an expensive car, a fancy watch, and a huge house, but what you want is respect and admiration from other people. And you think having expensive stuff will bring it. It almost never does. And here is the counterintuitive truth that will change how you see every parking lot, every shopping mall, every Instagram post. Visible consumption is the clearest indicator that someone is not wealthy. The wealth you can see is wealth that has already been spent. Real wealth, the kind that buys freedom, security, and options, is invisible. As Housel wrote, "Wealth is the nice cars not purchased, the diamonds not bought, the watches not worn. Wealth is financial assets that have not yet been converted into the stuff you see." So what do you do with this knowledge? You learn to see the trap, and you stop playing the game. The wealthiest people Stanley studied had a practice he called conspicuous frugality. They flipped the signaling game entirely. Instead of broadcasting status through spending, they signaled discipline through restraint. They did not need your approval. They had something better. They had options. Research shows we make over 35,000 decisions every single day. Every one of those decisions burns cognitive fuel. When you spend mental energy deciding which arrival signal to send next, which brand, which upgrade, which flex, you are draining the exact resource you need to build something real. The arrival signal trap works because it hijacks your brain's social reward system. Dopamine fires when others notice your purchase, not when you own it. The high is temporary, the debt is permanent, and the cycle repeats because your brain keeps chasing that next hit of external validation. Here is the question that separates the 1% from everyone else. Are you building wealth or are you performing wealth? Every generation repeats this mistake. Every generation confuses the signal for the substance. But you are watching this video, and that means you have a chance to break the pattern. Stop announcing your arrival. Start building in silence, because the wealthiest person in the room is almost never the one who looks like it. If this shifted something in your mind, subscribe. We are just getting started. This is Money Mind Dojo, and the next trap we expose might be the one costing you the most.